Warning: the Chaotic Culture Podcast is a program for mature audiences. The language and content presented in this podcast is of a mature nature that some audiences may not find suitable. Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
Embrace the culture, blaze the doja, grab your loved ones and bring them closer. Extra, extra, read the poster, the KKP is taking over. Sleeping on me, better smell the Folgers. I've been razor sharp since the Motorola. Off for O, like the cover Oprah. Popping bottles, feet all in the sofa. It's a celebration, though the times is hard. It's raining blessings, give it up to God. Chaotic culture, the greatest pod. With Ked the Pro, the one in charge. But it's a celebration, times is hard. It's raining blessings, give it up to God. Chaotic culture, the greatest pod. With Ked the Pro, the one in charge.
We're living in a chaotic culture. 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 Oh, we're living in a chaotic culture. 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 Oh, we're living in a chaotic culture. 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 Oh, we're living in a chaotic culture. We're living in a chaotic culture. We're living in a chaotic culture. We're living in a chaotic culture.
All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Chaotic Culture Podcast. The pod where chaos rules and black culture is elevated and embraced. This podcast will deep dive into modern black culture and how millennials and Gen Z can navigate the crazy parts, from finances, music, black business highlights, home ownership, HBCUs, sports, black nerd, anime, wrestling. If it encompasses black culture, we're going to cover it. Live from the 7-5, I am the host and the creator of the Chaotic Culture Podcast, your boy Ked the Pro, aka the Calculated Millennial, the Cutlass Diamond, aka don't be pushing all my buttons in my cutlass unless you cut it, aka your favorite toxic adjacent king, Chaotic Ked, Ked the Poet, Ked the Closer, and apparently now the Hoochie Hashira. I did not create that nickname. That agenda was given to me, and I'm clearly not beating the allegations right now. So there's that. The 843 is me, but VA is where I stay. Always chaotic, never toxic on most days. Back again, once again, with your favorite black culture highlights and black culture shenanigans. With me, of course, is just one member of the squad. We do have a special guest, but I'm going to go ahead and introduce a member of the crew. My boy, the soundboard engineer himself, Johnny, aka Jay Lee Trey. Please go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
Already know it. What's up, y'all? This is your boy Jay, aka Jay Lee Trey, aka Johnny Too Hottie. Shout out to Steve for that. Aka Johnny Cage, aka the French Toast Bandit, also known as Him She Kiraku. Shout out to Bleach. Aka Fly City Rays, but my southern life is to be praised. Gunshots. So, and then last but not least, aka Mr. Flamin' Hot Cool Ranch, because that's my favorite pair of Doritos. So there we
Okay, man. Flamin' Hot Cool Ranch. Hey, that flavor actually goes pretty stupid. I ain't even gonna front you for that.
Oh, it's underrated. Nobody talks about it. That's fine. I'm gonna bring it back.
Man, look, I'm a Cool Ranch Doritos guy myself, so Flamin' Hot. I don't eat it often, but when I do, I do like to indulge. So, so with that, ladies and gentlemen, of course, we do have a special guest joining us on the pod today. So I'm gonna let her introduce herself, but just to give a little bit of a background here, actually we met through Twitter, through mutuals this past summer. Got a chance to actually meet at DreamCon, and then we actually got a chance to spend time with each other, as well as with everybody in the AWA house, which we now officially known as the House Niggas. Don't ask where that name came from. Just just leave it at that, ladies and gentlemen. But with that, I've gotten a chance to really know this young lady. Very, very bright. Very, very knowledgeable in terms of anime, or the animes that she does watch. Is also a content creator, which is why we brought her on to this platform as well. We want to be sure that we're highlighting her, because we highlight all of our black women here as much as we possibly can. And overall, she's a dope ass person. Like, I don't know if you have ever gotten a chance to like have really true genuine people around you, but if you don't, please be sure that you do. She is one of those people, and I will speak of her praises very, very often, and I know that she might get a little bit embarrassed about that, but I mean, I'm going to sing her praises as long as I can, despite the fact that I've only known her for a few months. So with that, I'm gonna let her introduce herself, and then we'll get into the episode. I do want to introduce to the pod Miss Shelby, aka Simply Janine. Please, Shelby, go ahead and give yourself an introduction.
Thank you, Ked and Johnny. I was like, I didn't have anything really cool to say prepared like you both do. And if I did have something, I knew that I would get totally tongue-tied. So typically, I just go by Shelby. But Simply Janine on my anime social media platforms. I also post travel, language, and culture content online as well. And my channel name is Road Less Traveled. So those are the two areas that I frequent. But I'm really happy to be here. Thank you for all of your praises. I don't deserve all of them, but I do appreciate all the kind words. And I'm just happy to be here and have fun with y'all.
Hey, we're here to give people their flowers, so regardless, like we here for you, so you already know what it is. We definitely appreciate you joining us on the pod today. With that, we're gonna at least do a mental health check. This is typically a part of the pod where we be sure that everybody's at least okay, and that they're doing all right throughout this strange season that we're in. I usually don't start with myself, but I will start this time only because I just want the audience to know if I sound a little stuffed up, it's because I am recovering from a virus, and I don't know if it's RSV. It sounds like it is, but I got hit with it last week, and it's just been it's not bad because obviously it's not COVID. I tested for COVID like 4 times, and clearly that ain't, it came back negative. I tested for the flu, I tested for strep, all of that came back negative. So clearly, whatever hit me, just it hit me kind of hard. But I'm a lot better now. I'm still have some symptoms here, like coughing every now and again, but I know the cough is probably going to be the last thing to go, just like COVID, and of course a little bit of a stuffy nose. But I'm taking Mucinex to try and knock that out too. So other than being sick and being off work for a couple days, I'm okay. My mental's pretty good. I can't really complain too much. I've just been sitting here binging shows because that's all that I could do, and work on podcast stuff because that's really all that I could do. So there's that. I'm gonna let Shelby say how her mental health is, and then we'll get to Johnny.
Oh yeah, well I'm glad that you're feeling a lot better now. Definitely worried about you. RSV is no joke, as are any of the other viruses going around during this season. So honestly, everybody, please be safe and careful. But yeah, as for me, I'm also recovering from an illness. I unfortunately caught COVID for my first time, so it was not the best. I went to Anime NYC weekend and caught it from someone. Actually, I think I know who I caught it from. But yeah, so still recovering from that. I'm feeling a bit better though, and just trying to do my end of the year like wrap up and reflections and things like that, and prepare myself for the new year. I wasn't feeling the best besides being sick. There was kind of a lot weighing on my mind, and thinking about, the different paths and things that I want to take. But now I'm kind of ahead of that and looking forward to the new year and things that are going to happen in the future. So yeah, at this current time, my mental health is a little stable, and I like that.
That's good to hear. That's very good to hear. Jay, man, how's your mental health been these last couple of days?
Damn, I'm loud as hell, bro.
It's all
Jesus,
good.
Okay. That was wild. I don't know why I was that loud, but pretty much like the mental health has been good. This week has been different. I'm gonna say that just because like freelance social media like work through like contract is like crazy. A lot of companies are trying to like figure out new methods to try to like use their social media in the correct way. versus it doing the old school way, which is just, post a picture on Instagram and call it a day. So now people want to get into TikTok and stuff like that. So my brain has been working way too much overtime. So, and then on top of that, my own creative endeavors, like started streaming this week. That shit is crazy. And I'm already about to be an affiliate once I stream 6 days out this month, which won't take long. I plan on streaming more likely this Sunday night. By the time y'all hear this, it'll been past by then. I might have streamed again on Wednesday, but all in all, it's been good. Really can't complain. I've been praying for my friends because like y'all getting sick, people going through whatever type of stuff they're going through. It's a million different things I can say, but my biggest concern is make sure everybody close out the year, kind of like how like Shelby said, just closing out the year in the best way possible, getting ready for 2023, writing my goals down, what I want to accomplish, no matter if it's streaming content, whatever. So mental health is in a good place, but my mind is like racing, which is a good thing, but I have to balance that act a little bit better going into 2023. So it's all good though.
Hey, well, first and foremost, man, shout out to you for actually starting the stream, man. We definitely gonna get into a little more about that later on in the episode, but definitely shout out to you for actually getting started. I think I guess, was that your first night that we all hopped on?
That was literally my first official, like, taking it serious night.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought so. That was fun. You did really well.
Thank you. I was so nervous going on camera though too, like, and it helped that like y'all was there. So thank y'all. Like it really means like a lot for sure. So
for sure, it was definitely fun.
It really was fun.
People's streams.
Yeah, I'm learning from the best. We got some other friends that stream, so I learned from them first.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And also with that, I definitely had fun on the stream, man. And then you got me hooked to hot damn Among Us, and I had never played Among Us. I'd watched people play, but I just had never played it. But you was just like, yo, come on. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and hop in, and just whatever happens at that point. So damn sure had fun that night. And looking forward to some more streams that you got coming on. We also were thinking, you know what, I'm gonna save that for off the record. We'll get into that, but
I wonder what that is.
Hey, look, just know that I got a lot of people who've been inspiring me as of late, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. Well, I'm glad to see that everybody is stable. I'm glad to see that everybody's doing good, and working through whatever we have to work through. And of course, I'm glad that I'm feeling a lot better, because boy, last week was something. But with that in mind, I do want to actually just get a little bit of what everybody has been listening to, if they have been listening to any music recently, and just go over that to see what you've been listening to and how you've been feeling in regards to what you've been listening to. So, Shelby, if you would like to start, if you have any current listens as far as music.
Yeah, sure. Because my music taste is very eclectic and it's kind of all over the place. Like one day I'll be, as you all know, listening to some anime intros, and then the next day I'll listen to Masego. It's like, that's my guy. Rocking with him for a very long time.
Say that.
Or other days, like other things, whether it's Afro beats, whether it's like Brazilian music. I listen to a lot of things. But recently, I feel like my vibe has been around the same people, kind of like K-Tronada. I already mentioned Masego. Around that type of like newer, I guess, not exactly R&B, but like more of like a alternative kind of soundish. And so some random songs here and there. I guess some songs I've been playing recently, I'll give you like a couple. I have Blowback by Galimatias.
Okay.
I have, what else do I have? Postin, Victoria Monet.
Banger.
I have to listen to that new SZA album. That's really what I want to listen to. I was upset that I couldn't listen to it before I came on here and give my 2 cents, but I hear everybody's loving that one. What's the third song that I'll say? You guys know Duran Bernard? at all?
I know the name.
Really cool. He's done some songs with Ari Lennox, K Tronada. He was on tour with Erykah Badu. He was opening up for her at a recent tour. But he's really cool, and so I'll name Stuck by him if you wanted to listen to anything.
Okay, definitely pass that
Those are just
recommendation.
some people I've been listening to.
Cool. Johnny.
I can imagine.
Pardon the interruption, guys. Unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties with Jay's mic. I did try to fix it in editing, but unfortunately, I could not get the sound to capture. So unfortunately, I had to cut this part. But pretty much what Jay was talking about was how much he enjoyed SZA's latest album, SOS, and how he's been listening to new tracks from Lil Uzi Vert from, I believe it's like an EP. But in any case, unfortunately, I could not get his part to capture, so I had to delete it, unfortunately. But we're gonna get back into the show in just a moment, and at this point Jay was able to fix his mic. So once again, I do apologize, and without further delay, let's get back into it. I'm surprised that you said Uzi, honestly, bro. I didn't even know that he had dropped anything, so now I gotta get back on that. I'm not the biggest Uzi fan, but I will listen. So
Turn up, it's a vibe.
hey, yeah, say
I
less.
can't wait to listen to that as an album.
No, that's real. That is real. Okay. I see where it is. Jay, you can turn your mic up just a tiny bit, man, because this is a little low on my end. But, yeah, that's good. Cool. I'm with you, Jay. I actually hadn't finished the SZA album because I had one of those things where I was listening to it and then I would go back and be like, wait, what did she say? And then I'd rewind the entire song and listen to it again and just be like, oh my god. So I'm kind of like, usually I listen to an album straight through the first time and then I'll go back and listen to it from a critical ear, but I've just been going back because it's just like, dang, some of these songs are really good. Like, I need to go back and hear what she said here. Yeah, I gotta give her her props.
Hella excited.
Yeah, it's a whole vibe. It is, and when it comes to SZA, I think that and we did the round table on TDE this last March, and we were discussing like her evolution and whatnot, but then how it's like she's not quite where she needs to be. I think SOS gets her there. So, excuse me. So I think that what were we saying, John? Yeah. So at least from what I've listened so far, I'm a little more than halfway through. So hopefully I'll get to finish that before the night is over, and then I'll give a more valid opinion when that actually comes out. Other than that, it's definitely had me in a chokehold for a little bit. I will say that I went back and listened to Robert Glasper's latest album. So, well, no, it's just Black Radio again. If you haven't listened to Black Radio, like, did you not know about Black Radio, bro?
No.
Okay, so Black Radio actually, the original Black Radio actually dropped. What time period did it drop? It dropped. Yeah, so Black Radio dropped in 2012, but then he dropped Black Radio 3 this year, and then there's the deluxe edition of Black Radio that dropped in November. So I've just been kind of vibing out to that. Yeah, man. So I've definitely have been listening to that as of late, and then oddly enough, well, this morning I was on my gospel. So, cause my now this year, this Sunday, I actually, because again I didn't want to actually physically go to church because again I'm still trying to be precautious with me having RSV. I went and I watched my church from my hometown online, and they actually played an old song that the young adult choir used to sing back in the day called "I Came to Magnify the Lord," and I was like, oh, I haven't heard this song in years. I almost forgot about it. So yes, so I definitely had to add that to my playlist, and that's pretty much what I've been on all day. And then of course there's the Christmas music, with it being Christmas time and whatnot.
Christmas music.
Yes, and granted, I'm not one of those people who will listen to Christmas music as soon as Halloween is over. I'm not that person. I love Christmas. Christmas is my favorite holiday, but I will not do that. Like, I literally have to wait until after Thanksgiving, because if I listen too much, it will literally drive me up a wall. Just because I gotta listen to other things.
Yeah, I start my Christmas music right after Thanksgiving. I'm actually trying to get together my Christmas playlist of all the things so it's curated to exactly the songs that I like instead of just having them all miscellaneous. I'm still working on mine.
That's a fact.
But yes, this is the Christmas album time.
Indeed, I've been curating my playlist as well. I've had a playlist, but I'm actually just been adding things here and there to songs that I really like to the playlist. I will recommend, for those who don't know, and you can kind of claim this is a Christmas album, or you can kind of claim this is an Easter album. It really just depends. If you guys are not familiar with Handel's Messiah, now, now I'm
right? I don't know.
Alright, so I'm gonna drop a little classic knowledge on y'all. So there is a composer by the name of Gregoric Handel, from back in, like, we talking the same time period as Beethoven and things like that, and he dropped a series of compositions that got collected and into pretty much a song piece called Handel's Messiah. And you'll hear different songs that describe the coming of Jesus, the birth of Jesus, and the death of Jesus and the resurrection. It goes through all of that. Now, Handel's Messiah there was a spin that was done back in 1992, and it was done by a whole collection of black artists and black gospel artists as well, and Quincy Jones had a hand in it. So it's called Handel's Messiah, A Soulful Celebration. Now, we typically play this at Christmas because my school and at other times used to play like the classic Handel's Messiah throughout all of throughout the Christmas season, at least that they used to. So if you're not familiar with Handel's Messiah, I will just say the classic Hallelujah chorus. You've all have heard it before. If you listen to it, you'll be like, oh, that's what that is. So I
got that from?
Say again.
That's where they got that from?
Yes. But they've made it to where it's a whole bunch of black artists singing it, and obviously you could tell it's a little dated because it dropped in 1992. But I always recommend people listen to that because it is I think it's a masterpiece. You know, being able to add gospel and, at the time, you know, the current R&B trends to a classic sounding musical piece that it's really like it always does me joy. So if you haven't heard about Handel's Messiah in general, I definitely always recommend people just looking it up. You don't have to listen to it or anything like that, because it's classic compositions, but I always recommend at least listening to what I call the black version of it, which is a soulful celebration.
Oh yeah,
I'll check it out.
Absolutely. And you may have heard the Hallelujah that comes at the end of the album. You've probably heard it, but you probably didn't put two and two together, because it always plays on the radio. At least back home, it plays on the radio when it's Christmas time. So but again, I definitely recommend that. Other than that, those have been my current listens right now. Are there any games that we're either playing or looking forward to?
Right now, it has been the Callisto Project. Shout out to my folks over there at the Callisto Project. They gave me a stream key, so I'm able to start using that. Yeah, I'm trying to do something. So I'm gonna be playing that this week. It is I can call it space horror. It's not even space. It's just a futuristic horror game. Like, it's not zombies, but it looked like zombies, but it ain't. It's really, really like scary as hell. Like, it doesn't.
Are you gonna stream it?
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. I can't wait to show y'all. Yes, I'm turning my camera off for this because I want everybody to understand the same type of feeling that I get. So it's that game, and also, yeah, you know how that go. And then what's that?
I'm not horror, but I'm gonna be there with my cover over my head, trying to see something. You curious?
Yeah,
I'd rather you play it.
I mean, hey, look, see, you know what? Eventually, Ked, we gotta have that conversation about video games because the horror experience now on video games, people actually love to watch people play horror games because it's like watching a movie.
Crazy. It is.
Yeah, like the way what Shelby is talking about, I know a lot of people that do that. Like they'll watch certain YouTubers and stuff, like play horror games, and it's always like that. So it's nuts. It's that. So Callisto Project and Forspoken. So Forspoken and the demo came out the day of the Game Awards, which was this past Friday or Thursday. I think it was Thursday. I think it was Thursday. So the Game Awards came on Thursday. They dropped like a demo for Forspoken, and I do apologize. I don't know why this video started playing on my phone. But, yeah, Forspoken came out, and I was like, I gotta play this shit and see what it is. It's literally like a Harry Potter mixed with Infamous, mixed with Elden Ring, which won Game of the Year, by the way, and God of War with a black protagonist, woman protagonist. Wow. It's really good.
Man, so many people are upset that Elden Ring won Game of the Year, but we ain't gonna talk about it too in depth, but because everybody wanted God of War Ragnarok to win.
Let me hush.
Okay.
Let me hush.
And you know, I'm not saying one was deserved over the other because
Elden Ring is a great game. I'm niggas. I'm me, Sensei, shout out to you, Sensei, Words Champ Pod. A few others felt like it was robbed. But granted, Elden Ring came out in February of this year, took over the fucking internet, took over everywhere. It was the #1 game for months. That's all everybody played. And then when God of War came out, it kind of took over. But Elden Ring it changed the game and like experience because like your first boss you getting killed 20 times, that's crazy, bro. Like you don't even have on the hardest difficulty. You just gotta, it's nuts. Like, but I mean, I'm niggas. I wanted God of War to win, but God of War won a lot of awards that night. So
still a great game. A lot of these games I haven't had the chance to play personally, but I've watched a lot of people play them. But even though it was a great looking game, I do agree with you with your take on Elden Ring changing with the experience, and I think that is probably why results were what they were. But I'm very excited to finally get to play them myself one day because I wasn't on the wave when everyone else was on the wave.
Women gamers, shout out to Black women gamers.
Absolutely.
And all the women gamers out there for sure. Y'all killing it. Straight up. And Shelby about to join y'all.
I just sit at home and play alone. But yes, I am trying to stream.
She gonna be
and
streaming.
do a bunch of random things.
We all gonna be on there watching.
Yerp.
Listen, I'm gonna just be there talking on my mind and saying all the random thoughts that I think when I'm sitting high.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, you're fine. Look,
I was like, essentially, I just be high and my own thoughts saying.
That's it, though. That's all you
I
gotta do.
figured I'm pretty funny when I'm not trying to be, so I figured why not share with you. But genuinely, it's just because I really enjoy sharing my thoughts. I really enjoy playing with games and creating content as a whole. It's part of my hobby. It's part of what I find fun. So I'm really, really excited to get into this whole streaming world once I finally get all my materials and things together. I'm going to be playing some games. I'm doing some variety stuff, anime discussions, hopefully watch parties if we can figure it out in a way that won't, get me have a strike or anything like that, but just different things. Maybe cooking. Like, I just want to do a whole bunch of things. Essentially, just have a community of friends and we just do stuff together.
I'm with it. I'm absolutely with it.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Yes, ma'am. As far as games, I will say that obviously Among Us, I got hooked to playing. I'm hopping back into Destiny 2. I was not playing it for a while.
Ooh, bro.
Yeah, but I see that what was the Lightfall is about to happen, so I'm like, okay, yeah, it's about time for me to get back into this bitch. So I'm definitely about to hop in. Yep, and I'm looking forward to Lightfall because look, at the end of Witch Queen, for those who have played Destiny 2, when we saw the not the Disciple, what's the main villain about to be called? The Witness, there we go. Yeah, when the Witness showed up, I was like, oh shit about to get fucking real. And so yeah, I've just been I took a break from it, but I'm definitely about to hop back in. I'm definitely going to play God of War before all is said and done, because I never got the chance to play like 1, 2, and 3 on the other consoles. I have 4, but for some strange reason, like, I did not get a chance to like play it on the PS5. I played it a little bit on the PS4, but I never finished, and I don't know why. I just think I got busy. But I definitely downloaded it back on my PS5, and I'm about to finish that joint, and then I'm about to hop on Ragnarok whenever I get the opportunity. So I'm definitely looking forward to playing. I refuse to play Elden Ring just because I know I'm going to be one of those people who will.
Same here.
Yeah, I'm not trying to rage throw my controller, like getting frustrated with a game. Like I don't mind getting frustrated at parts with certain games, but if I get too frustrated, I will be the one to rage quit. Like, nah, I can't deal with this shit. So I'm definitely not going to be doing that. I'm just going to continue watching videos of people play it. And then when it comes to horror games, honestly, Johnny, I'm kind of with you on that as well. I've noticed that a lot of people have started streaming people play horror games. I saw a couple people, and I believe it was Kiana, aka the Geecha Gamer. I saw a clip of her playing Five Nights at Freddy's. I think that's what one of the games was, and she was completely
crazy. That's crazy.
It is, and I'm like, I never play it, but I watch people play it. And then just last night, we actually hopped on. Shout out to Aries. We hopped on Aries' stream, and he was playing the Quarry. And for those who don't know what that is, it's a decision based game.
Niggas ain't.
I thought you knew, bro, but it was like almost at 1 o'clock, bro. Like it was literally at 1 a.m., bro. Like I was like, I
was contemplating streaming all night last night. I was over here fighting myself and anxiety and everything, bro.
Look at you.
Damn.
Do whenever you feel like it. It's fun. So, like, whenever you want to stream, whenever you playing, just turn the camera on. It's content whenever you feel like you're not really having to make content.
That's true. I heard the best advice, and I'm gonna get this to you too, because one of my homeboys, he's like a big streamer back at home. This is the advice that he has. He told me, he said, think of you streaming as you're making content. It doesn't matter who's there, because you got to turn this shit into clips anyway. He was like, so you download your videos and shit, always act like somebody is there. Don't matter how many viewers you got, like this is literally you making a YouTube video, bro. The camera's just on. You're playing a game while you're doing it. That's the only difference. If somebody pops in and says something to you, yeah, of course, talk to them. But beside that, just turn the fucking camera on, bro. Act like you're doing a YouTube video or a TikTok or something. And I was like, damn, I never thought about that shit like that. So I was thinking about the game first. You said, no, it's about you first. The game comes second. And I was like, damn, he right. So that's for anybody else out there that want to start streaming and shit. Think of it as like a TikTok video or a YouTube video you're making, or you're vlogging or something. You just happen to be playing a game. So everything you're doing, like, it's content. Shelby's absolutely correct.
Absolutely. With that,
100%.
with
Definitely.
with that, I'm definitely looking forward to the games that are coming out. Especially like y'all know I love fighting games, so with Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8 coming out, I'm getting ready to get ready for that shit. And I'm gonna hop on Forspoken whenever that game does come out as well. I watching Johnny stream that looked really interesting, so I'm definitely gonna hop on that. And I think that's all that I can think of, at least on the top of my head. I'm pretty sure more games will come out.
Bro,
You said what?
don't forget about Hogwarts.
Oh yeah, the Hogwarts game.
Yeah, Hogwarts. Can't wait.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. Definitely big. Still a big Harry Potter buff, despite Joanne being Joanne right now. But
Joanne being Joanne, isn't that?
I agree.
yeah, it's
I begrudgingly pay for the merch that goes into her pocket,
it's just like,
but I'm gonna still buy it.
yeah, I'm giving you the side eye while I purchase this this new game. Just like,
Purchase this wand and this cloak. All the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
But she wrote a good book.
She definitely did. She definitely wrote a good 7 series book, man. I have to give her credit for that. And as I don't know, we haven't said it on the podcast before, but as other places have mentioned, like, she's really one of the best-selling authors behind the people who wrote the Bible. So it's like, what can you do? She created an entire world. So we fell into that world, and what we have to do is just be able to curate that world without her necessarily being a part, because clearly she's said some problematic shit and done some problematic shit. But that's neither here nor there. With that, I do want to segue, because I do actually have some questions for Shelby, and a lot of
It's
that.
a good turn. A good
Yeah.
turn.
Hey, and look, I promise you, these aren't hard questions or anything like that. Just to the best of your ability, explain each question as they come to you, and just give us your honest answer and your honest feeling, and we'll go from there. The people want to know a little bit more, and we want to make sure that we are, again, as we said on this podcast multiple times, we highlight black content creators, black artists, but especially our black women who are doing these things. So with that, we are going to go ahead and dive into these questions. So Shelby, with that, I do want to know what actually got you into anime / the very first anime you ever watched.
Oh goodness. Okay, so what got me into anime? Well, I've had, and I think this might be other people's story too, where watched anime growing up, and then had like a brief point in time when it wasn't, I guess, I wasn't watching as much, and then fell into it later on in life. I think that me falling back in love with anime definitely was the more, I guess, important part in my life, where now I continue to watch it. But back when I was a kid, I vaguely remember myself watching like Sailor Moon and occasional episodes of like Dragon Ball, but mostly Studio Ghibli movies and things like that had a big impression on me. When I was in middle school is when I really got into watching Inuyasha. You guys know the deal, waking up and having the ending blaring at you at different times of the night was definitely my story as well. And I fell in love with it and started staying up to watch it, and that was really the show that I rocked with as to why it's still in my top 3. My top 5 of anime are all anime that have made impactful, have impacted me the most in my life, so that's why I keep them in my top 5. But Inuyasha was definitely one of them. Later on through the years, I started studying languages really heavily, speak Chinese Mandarin, a bit of Japanese, and a few other languages. And so I really fell into Asian culture while I was studying Chinese and a bit of Japanese. And I think that's where I started falling into the K-drama era and all of that. Um, and that made me stumble upon One Piece. And then from there, the rest was history.
Hey.
One Piece took it away from me, and made me, be like, why did I stop watching anime like that? So I decided to dive deep into the realm of, anime and things like that, and yeah, the rest is history.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Shout out to those who are a part of that love One Piece. I have gotten to Water 7. I took a little bit of a break just because like I literally was enthralled in the last arc, which was Skypiea. So I was like, let me take a little bit of a breather, and then I'm gonna hop right back into it. So this week I'm definitely getting back into Water 7. I'm just going to go until I can't go no more, and then probably take a little bit of a break and then hop back into the next arc. So I've been taking my time with One Piece because I want to be sure that I am able to absorb all that I'm reading and experiencing. And then there are parts that I do want to go back and watch. So there's that. But that's good to hear. That is good to hear. As in terms of anime, of course, we noticed that you're also a part of Slice of Anime. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Shout out to the gang, yo.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to the gang. I was about to say, well, Johnny can help me fill in the points that I have missed, well, that I will miss. But yes, I am a part of Slice of Anime Network. It is a network that focuses on anime that impacts the community on this side of the world. We share a lot of news and information about different anime coming out. And we actually are going to be moving on to YouTube, which was always the goal. We're almost, actually, today is 1 year, I think. Slice of Anime Network. Yeah, today is 1 year since we started. So it's been a long journey. We did a whole bunch of support in this 1 year of time, and everybody's really, really thankful. I kind of stumbled into the community literally at the same time that I joined, and I'm thankful for all the connections that I've made. But yeah, Slice of Anime Network, we definitely will have some more things to share with you guys soon.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Jay, did you want to comment a little bit on that, or?
I think she covered it all, honestly. There's really nothing honestly missing. She hit it. Yeah, YouTube is coming next year, literally. Shout out to the entire gang of Slice of Anime. It's so many of us, for real. Like, it's a lot of people.
So many.
You got people doing TikTok. You got people doing Instagram. You got people doing YouTube. You got, graphic designers. It's so many different people, so many different talents. And, like, Slice of Anime Network is great. So definitely follow us at Slice of Anime NW, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube as well. And yeah, look out for the content that we pushing out too. Also TikTok, Slice of Anime Network, TikTok as well. So, yep.
That's a bit. Okay. Next question. You want to add a little bit more?
Last thing before we move on. Johnny already kind of said it a little bit, but there are a lot of us in the network currently, but it is really great seeing everybody put all of their different skills to use, because yes, you may see a produced work of content and you might see only one host, but behind every video, behind every tweet, there is a team of like over 6 people doing it, whether they're a researcher and a writer, an editor, a producer, the host itself, the admin behind the scenes. It's really great being able to work together in a cohesive way and have it still work with a whole bunch of people behind it. So definitely appreciative of Cosmos, on Cloud Cosmos. Shout out to him for bringing everybody together and putting everything in a cohesive format. It's not easy to do, especially with like 40 plus of us. There's a lot of people in there. So yeah, that's the one thing that I did want to highlight.
That's what's up. Moving on. I definitely wanted to highlight this part about you because, as you've said and mentioned before, you're very well traveled. So I just wanted to at least put a little bit of a spotlight here on Roads Less Traveled, and I wanted you to just explain a little more about your experiences traveling abroad, if you don't mind.
Yeah, for sure. Roadless Traveled is my baby that I'm still trying to grow and have it to grow its own wings. I started my travel channel on YouTube when I had just recently graduated undergrad, and I received an internship in Beijing, China, and I was going to move abroad and work at a PR firm. I went to school for Chinese language and PR. So once I got the opportunity, I was like, well, this is exactly what I studied for. This is great. But through time, I really wanted to show people travel as a young Black woman in different places, share my experiences, share the different culture, and have people know that they too can travel without feeling like they need to break the bank, or that they could also experience different cultures without feeling like you necessarily have to be abroad in that area if you do not have the funds to do it. So I do talk about a lot of travel and culture, but I also integrate some language in my content as well, because I got into travel and things like that through language as well. I already mentioned how I studied Chinese Mandarin. So China definitely takes a big, what's the word, part of my life. It's about a lot of my experiences because I lived there for 3 years. But there are other languages that I talk about and share often, so I really try to showcase that otherworldly aspect of other people.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
I never knew you knew Chinese Mandarin this whole time. That is crazy. Wow.
Yeah. It comes out occasionally. I'll put some information about it on Twitter here and there, depending on if there's like a holiday coming out. Sometimes I might share some things, or sometimes I come across people who also speak Mandarin and I might talk to them on the timeline a little bit. But my timeline actually used to be all language kind of focused, and through finding people who talk about anime, I've shifted focus and met all of you guys. So I don't share as much about language and travel as I would want to on my page, but I definitely hope to in the future on Twitter, as far as Twitter is concerned.
I'm looking forward to that. Because
Likewise.
That is something I think that is very interesting. Like, I watch YouTubers that are like Black people that live in Asian countries, like whether it's Korea or China, Japan, whatever. Mm-hmm. And like, even you touching on the fact that you went over there, and you lived there, you was abroad for a minute. I just want to ask, out of curiosity, what was the most shocking thing that happened while you were gone?
Well, while I was in China itself?
Yeah.
Okay, most shocking thing that happened while I was in China. There's a lot of shocking things that happened while I was in China, depending on the circumstance. But in terms of, I guess, culture difference, I felt to a certain degree a little bit prepared since I already studied Chinese for over 10 years. At the time, maybe I guess over 6 years or so before moving abroad. So I felt like I had a little bit of a handle on it, but it's still different when you're experiencing it firsthand. So I guess crazy situations really just revolve around my race, whether it was more of the curious aspects, and then there are some like racist aspects. There were times when people were forming a line to just take pictures with me, or there are times when people are trying to, say things in Chinese or they don't think that I understand them, and I curse them out. Those are fun experiences too, but I think those are some of my crazy experiences. I've been stopped by police. I've been stopped at immigration more times than I can count. There's been a whole bunch of crazy situations. It's hard to single one out.
that kind of segues into like my next question, as far as like what had been the biggest challenge as far as like traveling abroad itself.
I'll say traveling abroad as a whole, navigating different hardships on the fly. There's always the saying that anything that can go wrong will go wrong, Murphy's Law. But it's different when you're in the actual situation itself and you're having to deal with it on the fly in a foreign country. It's sometimes scary, sometimes daunting. I've had some situations where I've been in a new country at 2 a.m. and apparently my reservation doesn't exist and there's nobody even opening up the door. So where am I supposed to go? And having to navigate that with no Wi-Fi and no data. So it's been, I've been through it. But I think those are, some of the things that after a while you prepare yourself. After a few situations, you're like, okay, I know how to handle this. Yeah, dealing with problems as they arise is difficult. The next answer that I probably would have given would have been the language barrier, but I didn't have as much trouble with that in China exactly. I do remember my first time going to South Korea and being like, wow, is this how people feel with not knowing anything?
Ooh.
It was interesting. I think that China is a lot more easier to navigate if you don't know Chinese than South Korea is if you don't know Korean. To me, which is interesting because Korea is, taking the world by storm. So wouldn't you think there'd be a lot more English signs? But no, they're not, guys. I'm here to tell you they're not.
Duly noted.
That is interesting because the way the K-pop is popping off, and on top of that, not to say it's like cultural appropriation, but they do dress like us.
Well.
Say that y'all don't have a lot more English things or like people that don't know it. That's kind of interesting to hear. Note it for sure.
Yeah, I think they still need to update some of their, signage and things like that in Seoul, South Korea. And I didn't get the opportunity to travel to any other place in South Korea at the moment, but I was definitely constantly looking around trying to figure things out. At some point, I was even stopping Chinese people and speaking to them to ask them questions because they were the only people I could understand. But it was interesting.
Wow. Well, we're definitely taking your experiences to heart, and hopefully, we get the opportunity to leave the country and go out and explore. We will make sure that we use the experiences to our advantage. Before we move on, I actually want to take a quick break, which is something that we haven't done on this podcast in a while, but things happen, so I do want to take a quick break here. When we return, we're actually going to continue with questions with Shelby, as well as some anime talk and some rapid fire questions before we completely sign off. So don't move, ladies and gentlemen. We will be right back. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. So when we last left off, of course, we were talking about Shelby's journeys, and we wanted to continue a couple of questions here. So, Shelby, with that, you answered it, of course, what your biggest challenge was. I just wanted to know, do you see yourself eventually living in another country permanently?
It's a possibility that I would. I see myself living abroad more than I have seen myself living in the States. I think that the only thing that it would be contingent on is, I guess, my partner. Whenever we eventually figure out down the road, but I could see myself living somewhere in like Europe or something like that with better health care and not as much fees for education and things like that. But the only thing would be is being consistently too far away from family, but possible.
I definitely understand the the circumstances regarding that. One, you want to be sure that whoever you're with, that they're able to do the same things that you are, and then on top of that, as you said, being away from family is going to be the main thing. I asked that question only just because you've been, again, abroad in so many countries and whatnot. It was just a question of, well, maybe living in the States may not be the most opportune thing to do right now. So I want to see what how everybody feels as far as traveling abroad. I definitely want to get a chance to at least get out the States and experience more from the world around us. And then if I decide to never come back, then it is what it is. But
Japan 2023, end of 2023 or early 2024. That's the goal for me.
That's definitely the goal to visit.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Gotta go.
Yep. So moving on from the traveling aspect, I did want to ask what actually motivated you to start your streaming journey.
Well, it's interesting. I always have a really long story as to how I get to my decisions, but it's because I really take time to think them through. I really love content creation. It is a hobby and not just something that I see as like a career path or something like that. I enjoy, to an extent, editing and creating different things about, different topics. So streaming felt like it was somewhere down the line. I am also really interested in, digital marketing. I also freelance for other businesses where I create content for them. And I find it really interesting to look at the different trends and things like that. I find it like another form of communication, just like languages, trying to get somebody to, click on something. I find it interesting. So I've always wanted to dive deeper into the gaming industry and seeing how people blow up and how people get people to want to stay on a stream for hours on end. So it always seemed like something interesting to me. And now that I've been watching a lot more people on Twitch and things like that, I finally feel like I'd be interested in getting into streaming. Being in the anime community on Twitter has definitely boosted my confidence in wanting to showcase myself on Twitch and things like that. So I think it's something that I've always been interested in doing, but you guys have given me the push this year.
And I just speak on that for a second because I think she just said something really profound. So like, we like the Twitch streaming too, and this is also a person that's a new streamer that's about to become an affiliate in 6 days.
Shameless plug.
I'm just claiming that now for sure. It's something to like really figure out because I also do digital marketing as my day job. So it's interesting to see how do the big streamers keep people on there for hours and hours on end. Shout out to my boy Kai Sinat.
Yes.
I was already subscribed to Dog, but he gave me another free month, which is crazy. That's what's up. He streamed yesterday. Actually streaming right now too, which is crazy. But he streamed yesterday for 13 hours. He did it from 8 p.m. last night.
Consistently online.
Wow.
From 8 p.m. last night to I woke up this morning. This dude was still going. Like it was. I think it was like I checked it. It was like 11 hours and 50 minutes.
Good
and
Lord.
There were still 42,000 people on there. Now, to the marketing portion, it's like, okay, how did he do that? Okay. Now, Dog did have an Elvis performer last night, which is mad funny. He has this thing going on with SZA right now where SZA literally is posting him on her story consistently right now, playing with this boy emotions.
Oh, damn. I know that.
Yeah, so he's like, he's really geeked off of that, and people kind of like want to see how his reactions be all the time. And also, what I think it is besides people falling asleep and waking up to him still watching, people still watching while they go to sleep. Because back to where I think we were talking about this before the pod started, like, or actually no, in the beginning, like it's the entertainment portion, is content creation. People want to see people do shit, right? Like, it don't have to necessarily be games all the time. He's a variety streamer. Like, he had multiple celebrities, whatever. We talked about Blueface before on this pod before, and like, that part about marketing is really cool, because then he has an editor that drops clips while he's streaming whole time. Like, as Kai's on, the editor's on, and like, he's working simultaneously. So every time the stream is running, he has like I think Kai has like 3 YouTube channels. So one of them is Kai Sinet Live, which is all the clips that come from his lives. So like, he's still streaming,
I didn't even know that.
but then like, the editor is posting clips, like particular clips or big clips from the stream, and it like consistently puts him on the map every time. Like, it just keeps going and going.
So smart.
It's smart as hell. And I think when it comes down to the marketing portion, it's really just about, like, not necessarily make yourself so much different, but you got to emulate somebody somehow. Not all the way, but a little bit. Just like taking like some of the things that they do. I think emulation, when it comes down to marketing, I think it's like, oh, how many clips can you make from one stream? Because stream is still content. Like, I did it this week. I made 2 clips already. I got 5 more to go. Like, I got particular moments during the stream where like there was banter going on, like in the chat or whatever, and shit got like kind of crazy or whatever. Even the Among Us thing. The Among Us is fun as hell. Like, make clips of that. So it's like, to the digital marketing portion, what you were saying, Shelby, I think is mad important. I think like, content creators got to take that more seriously. Not just making the content, but how can you repurpose content after you're finished? You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
That is the most important thing that I always tell everybody who talks to me. You always have to be repurposing your content, making clips, putting it on other platforms. A video that maybe didn't do well on TikTok might blow up on YouTube. You really just do not know. It's really smart to think about different ways to leverage. And so, with all that being said, that's why I thought streaming was so interesting. I'm always apprehensive of just sitting and talking candidly, because I often get tongue-tied, or my mind moves faster than my mouth can keep up with. So I always shy away from spaces, which is why you guys might not always hear me, or things where I have to speak on the fly versus something where I can record and collect my thoughts. But I'm really interested in trying. I think that it would be really cool. And I've always wanted to be able to bring streaming into my travel portion and be able to be abroad and do different things so that people can see me live and figure out if that was a thing. Yeah, can't wait.
I'm going to be watching.
I'm excited to see what everybody has in store. Especially Jay and especially Shelby. Like, just hearing you guys talk about streaming, and now my mind is getting flooded with ideas. So yeah, this has really been an interesting conversation in regards to streaming, and just from what you pointed out, Jay, about Kai, having the editor there, and just working in real time. That is really smart. And now I'm just like, well, sheesh, man, we gotta have something like that whenever we, get to that level. So I'm already claiming it right now. Like, we gonna be that big, man. One day.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I think that was the key I was gonna say. That's the disclaimer. You have to get to that portion where you're able to pay your editors, and for anybody that's please pay your editors, for sure.
Yes,
you have to pay them, because they're up as long as you're up. Like, if you're streaming, for sure. So like, Kai said the number. I don't want to put on here, but it's definitely in the 6 figures how much he pays a year to his editor, because of the amount of time the editor has to be on. You know what I'm saying? And like, certain people know who the editor is, and the editor goes through death threats, all type of negative shit. You know what I'm saying? Because fans be like, "Where's the clip of this?" Because some people really pay attention to these streams very tough. Like, they're on it. They're on it. Like, oh, this happened when Blueface and old girl did this and Kai reacted this way. Where is that clip? They can't find on the internet. So it's like, oh my God, like, the editor's trash. And it's like, no, the editor isn't trash. It's just something probably Kai was like, don't put that on the internet. He probably did make a clip of it, He just like don't put that on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Or take,
Yeah.
you know. So it's like, even with the editor portion, like, pay your editors, one, but two, you have to have the audience to do that, because like that's different. But I mean, but learn how to do it yourself. Like, I clip stuff myself. CapCut is a free resource. You're welcome. I'm done putting free shit out there. I'm done talking shit.
Man, look, all the clips that I'll be putting on the podcast as well, and I get, you know, it gets redundant at times, but it's just like, man, look, all the stuff that I do between Headliner and Now Wave, that's more free stuff that we're putting up there, so y'all ain't gonna hear that again. Just between going to those two apps this past weekend, just clipping one episode, it's just like, you know, it could be a daunting task, because you got to find out what's an acceptable clip to put out there for social media. You know, what is something that's gonna, you know, engage the audience or get them interested. So that always is gonna go into your thought process, because it has to be marketable to your audience. So for those who are threatening the editor for something, like, y'all gotta chill, y'all gotta relax, and as Jay has said again, pay these people, please, if you have the means to do it, pay these people. Like, don't just sit here and, you know, be skimp because they're doing a certain service and you don't want to pay them because you want to rake in all the funds yourself. Like, we're not here for that. So yes. So, getting back on track here, Shelby, when it comes to streaming now, are you looking to monetize, or are you just doing this as, you know, for fun, for the hell of it, just because you want to, or both?
Currently, with my Simply Janine pages, I focus on just anime, and I say unfiltered discussions. So that could be a range of different things. And so with that, I'm just taking it for fun at the moment. Am I going to say no to money? Never. But I don't want to put myself into the position where where anime isn't fun for me. Because at a certain point, I started getting heavily into digital marketing, looking really into my analytics, and it all started with trying to grow my travel page. And the thing that I love the most, content creation and travel, started to become a task and a chore and something that wasn't exactly fun anymore. And so I don't want the thing that I do for fun to turn into that. So I won't give myself the pressure of needing to be like everybody else, or, you know, monetize or get all these big followings. I do just genuinely want to showcase my personality to people, and hopefully people enjoy that and want to join into my little community, whatever it'll grow to be. And if that takes us to the moon and stars where we can have money, then hey, thank y'all. I'd love it.
I'm with it.
Not at the sacrifice of my happiness. And
absolutely.
Preach on it right there.
Yes. That's one thing that I was discussing about this podcast. I'm like, you know, I have fun doing this, but to the point where I don't have fun anymore is, you know, when I'll stop. But so far, I'm having like the most fun that I've had in years, so I'm definitely not stopping. So, and we just gonna continue to grow and continue to make waves until, you know, we can, as you said, when the money comes, then hey, we here with it. So, but you know, that's the ultimate goal here, is so that I don't have to do my 9 to 5 anymore, and I can use this as a way to get another stream of income here. Because man, but
you and me both, all three of us probably eventually. You know what I'm saying? I know it's fun. You know, we know what we're trying to do.
Yep. Really quickly, are there any other ventures that you want to get into, Shelby? Whether it's voice acting or I didn't want to throw this out there, but for those who don't know, Shelby can sing. So I didn't know if she wanted to do some singing on the side.
Goodness. Oh no, I cannot sing on this pod. My voice is not.
I'm not telling you to. No, I'm not telling you to sing on the pod. I'm not telling you to sing on the pod. I just said if you had any other ventures outside of what you're doing now, if you wanted to include voice acting or maybe singing on the side or something like that into your life, if you wanted to do something like that again, or, you know, just if you had any other things that you were, you know, putting your hand into.
I have so many things. I have so many things that I always am trying to work on the back end. I already talked about my travel content, but I would love to one day, this was something that I was trying to do while I was in China, but I put on hold. I wanted to do an exchange program with a language school in Beijing where I would every so often get like a group of students who would like to go and study for a certain amount of time in Beijing or Chinese language and do those exchanges, and eventually wanted to branch out to Tokyo and do a language school there. But that's like a big goal. Once I finally feel like I have enough of a following and the travel content is okay, and that I'm doing other ventures that I have planned. So that's a long-term goal. Other things that I'm working on, I would like to voice act. I have done some voice acting in China for some English commercials that they wanted here and there. I would be interested in doing that one day, but I think I put that a little bit on the back burner for other ventures. I also do write, and I am in the process of writing a children's book. I also was an English teacher, English as a foreign language teacher, while I was abroad for some time. I've always, just been involved with children and had the opportunity to be involved in younger education. And so I've always wanted to write a children's book, so I've been in the process of storyboarding that. So, that's something to potentially keep on the lookout for in the new year. I do sing, like you mentioned. I would like to get back into singing. I have done some singing in obviously English, but also in Chinese. And I had posted on another platform some of my songs of me singing Chinese songs, and I would like to do a little bit more of that, but also get into actually recording again one day. But that's after I get a vocal coach and feel more comfortable again. But yes, I am working on some music. So there might be a lot of new things you see from me soon. I'm always thinking about doing stuff.
I'm fucking hype. Sorry,
I love to create things. I'm a creative.
Yes. You need an engineer. Call me, or Ked.
Yes, please. Bet. Yeah, we definitely here for that. I think those are really all the questions that we had for you personally, Shelby. What we want to do now is like get into some anime talk. We definitely, of course, thank you for sharing the knowledge that you've had in regards to your travels, in regards to the content that you're getting ready to create, and the content that you already have created. So, ease up a little bit. We'll get some anime going, and then what we'll do is we'll finish off with some rapid fire questions, just to see, test your knowledge a little bit, or test, not your knowledge, but more so like, what you're interested in, and gotta do this because we
get good answers out of it.
Hey, well, we'll see. We'll see. For starters, of course, I just wanted to know what has been your favorite anime so far of the fall.
My favorite anime so far of the fall. I'm actually a little bit behind in fall anime. One, because there's been so many things going on. And two, during the end of the year, I've just kind of been slowing down and rewatching some things. I feel like I've been streamlining through a whole bunch of different anime and a bunch of genres this year, which is something that is new for me. I've been expanding my palette, which I really love. I've finished over 40 anime series this year so far. And so I've been doing a lot, and so during the end, I've been kind of chilling out. However, my favorite so far, Mob Season 3.
For those who, I know y'all can't see.
Blue Lock is okay.
Oh no, not Blue Lock is okay.
Blue Lock is okay. I haven't been able to start Bleach because I haven't watched Bleach, so I'm on episode 4. So that's going to go as slowly as ever. What else is out? My Hero has been going well, and it might have been up there, but I'm a few episodes behind, so I know some crazy stuff's been going on recently, but I can't talk about it because I'm trying to catch up. So I think right now I've really been enjoying Mob the most.
Hey, that's what's up, man. Shout out to Mob Psycho 100. I have really been enjoying Mob. There have been some lower points of the season just because it's been a relatively more quiet season, I suppose, and it's been it's been some instances where we get to see a little more of Mob's day in the life as opposed to any real action. However, this last part, and I'm not gonna share any spoilers, but I got so interested after episode 9. I was like, okay, I need to go read because I want to read the rest of this. And yeah, I'm like, oh shit, about to turn up at the very end.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's about to totally change. It has been really mellow this season in comparison to last season, which is something that I was wondering, how were they going to finish it out, but also keep up with all of the amazing things that were going on in season 2. It felt like they could have kind of ended it there if that was, the end. It'd been kind of okay. So I was wondering what else they could do in the season 3. I have not watched episode 9, so that's why I am still in more of the slower parts of it, but because I love Mob so much, I know that they'll turn it. I'm glad to hear that. I'm going to watch it.
Yes.
The way it's panning out for sure, it's because I've read it. It is doing. It's a 1-to-1 comparison. I think I said it on Chaotic Culture before. I know I said it on Inside the Mind of the Word, and Shogo. But if Mob sticks the landing, which it looks like it's sticking the landing too, we gotta revisit that GOAT conversation. Because a lot of people put Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood up there. And I think Mob Psycho 100 would be a great contender. 3 perfect seasons.
People are sleeping on Mob. 3 perfect seasons, openings all fire. Sleeping on just how profound Mob is as a character in himself. The personal growth that Shigeo goes through is really a match for a lot of things.
It's a fact.
I love Mob so much.
Hey, for those who are listening, of course, obviously you can't see right now, but I'm clearly wearing the Mob Psycho 100 shirt. So
hey, we twinning low key. I ain't got it
I'm
on right.
clearly jealous.
Yeah.
You got it AWA.
Yeah, Shelby had asked that off the pod. She was like, "Did you get that at AWA?" I said, "Yes, I did."
I knew exactly where you got it because I tried to buy it and they were out of my size. Only that size. They had it in every other size.
Sometimes you gotta go a size up, Shelby, and just shrink it. You know what I'm saying?
She said that with such contempt.
Here we are in December, and I'm shirtless. I should have thought about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, I technically I got the right size, but I haven't. Well, I did wash it one time just because I always like to wash new shirts whenever I get them. But yeah, this really snug and it's really comfortable. But I was so glad that I got it because I was like. Matter of fact, Jay was the one who pointed me out to it. Just like, oh, you see that Mob shirt? I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta get it now. I had to get it. Between that and the Gundam shirt, I was like, yep. Let me give them both to me. I'll pay for it.
We both got the same shirt because you bought it first, then I think I bought it right after you. And I think Huey, shout out to Huey T for 5'2". He got the shirt too. Damn, I just got scored off for a touchdown. This is crazy. I'm sorry, y'all. Live version of the pod. I am in the Super Bowl franchise on Madden 23. Shout out to the Cowboys. And we got that dub today. Oh, Jesus. Had my heart hurt.
No, I'll talk about football right now, man. I'm a little, I'm a Steelers fan for everybody who knows. And yeah, right now I'm just kind of like, oh, man. It's a rebuilding year. My main concern right now is fantasy. I'm like, yo, I hope that I win my game. If I don't, I'm praying that the other 2 people don't catch up to me in points. Because if they do, I'm going to lose. I'm going to not be in the playoffs. I think one person's not going to catch up to me, but the other, she's getting mighty close. So if I can just keep that distance, I'll be straight. But anyway, yeah, Mob has really been great this season. I didn't fall off of Blue Lock, but I did fall behind, so I'm definitely going to get caught back up on that. Everyone's been saying.
I'm gonna let it be.
She said he ain't gonna touch it. Oh man, I will say that I'm not the biggest sports anime guy, but I've actually kind of enjoyed Blue Lock, so I'm gonna keep going with it. Bleach, God, Shelby, I know that you have not like really watched any of the big three other than One Piece, but like if you get the opportunity, like yo, when you get through Bleach, just enjoy the experience. Because right now, where Bleach is at right now, oh my god, this is by far the best anime, and
I see clips and I'm like, I just want to get there. I want to get till I see the other people.
Yes.
Still trying to figure out that he's special. I'm really on episode 4.
Keep going. Look, when you get to the point where, when two people get introduced, then things start to turn up. So right now you're kind of you're in the beginning stages where you're kind of like, okay, Ichigo's figuring out his powers. When two certain people show up, that's when that turn happens. Like, okay, now we about to get like really go into high gear. So yeah, it's a lot to digest. But
I'm trying to get to all the people. The people who look attractive that the girls be simping over in the spaces. Yeah, I want to get to them. I'm trying to get to them.
Oh right no!
Oh, you talking about like
Renji?
Like Renji?
I was about to. I need some Renji. I know some of the names. I know him, and I know the guy with the blue hair. I think he's a villain. That mask on him.
Grimjow.
A half mask.
Yes, Grimjow Jagger Jack.
I don't know nothing about him, but he's fine. That's all I know.
Oh, man, crazy.
I'll get there. One day I'll get there.
Grimjow cool, man.
Yeah. Hey, look, shout out to Von Six, man. I ordered that hoodie.
The whole time. I just found that.
Wait. You got the hoodie too? Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. I had to cop, bro. I had to. Man, that shit was fucking lit, bro. I was like, yeah, I gotta get this shit. I will say, and shout out to Jay for putting me on, bro. Akiba Maid War, bro. And I talked to,
bro.
I was talking to Shelby like before we got on. She hasn't started yet, but I was like, yo, okay, I didn't know what to expect when I first started watching this. That first episode, I literally was like, yo, what the fuck? And yeah, it's like that. So I'm like, okay.
Bro. It starts off like that. Dude.
Yeah, they get to these shits. So when you get a chance and the opportunity, yes, definitely do yourself a favor, Shelby, and watch that. As far as other fall shows, of course, Spy Family has been wholesome and whatnot. It's not been a lot of like progression as far as plot, but a lot of the hijinks that we see, I still enjoy. So definitely shout out to Spy Family. And there was a few others. Of course, Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witch from Mercury. Like, shout out to my girl Suletta Mercury.
So you missing Mercury?
Yes. Suletta is best girl right now for me. That is mine. I don't care what anybody else says. But yes.
Another sleeper. Married couple, but not really is what I call it. But the real
more than a married couple,
but not lovers.
Yes. What Shelby just said. More than a married couple. Yes, that is my sleeper of the season. That'll be my. I'll put that into the hat for sure because a lot of people. It's been very shonen heavy this season for sure.
It has,
but this is a little bit of a palate like cleanser, and on top of that, it's super funny. It is ecchi though for those who not really into those things. It is a little ecchi, exaggeratedly ecchi because there's some things you'd be like, why? For what reason? Why is this here? But shout out to the girlies in the episode because the main girl like she gets her nails done all the time and shit. Like it's every episode she got a new set of nails and that shit fire to me. So yeah, shout out to that. Shout out to Emily. More than a married couple. Yeah, it's fine.
I'm actually waiting to binge that. Like that's why I haven't got started. I'm just like, yo, I wanna binge the entire thing because that looks like a great series. So I'm definitely waiting on that. But I may just hop into it and just be like, you know what, fuck it. So we'll see what happens. Yes, sir. I've definitely I kind of enjoy edgy, so I definitely will be paying attention to this, and hopefully I'll enjoy myself.
Head ass.
I'm sorry. I fully admit. Look, the first time that not even the first time, but just when I watched dang it, I'm just like that. My Dress Up Darling. Yes. I was hooked. I was just like, yo, okay. And then I was like, yo, is this etchy? Is this semi-etchy? What's going on here? There's a lot of stuff going on here that I was like,
They could have made them in college. They really could have.
They really could have, but I was still like, because I was blown. I didn't know that it was going to be like that, because I thought it was just going to be like pure wholesomeness when I first started watching it. But then stuff started happening. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, we're here now. Keep watching. So that, yeah. But definitely enjoyed that series. Since Shelby has not been so enthralled in a lot of the fall stuff, what has been your favorite anime so far this year, other than Mob?
Only came out this year.
Just anything that you've watched this year that's been your favorite. So other than Mob, what's like been
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
We need to expand it a little bit, because I'm not totally sure of all the ones that came out this year. Say some ones that I enjoyed that I watched this year. So first thing that comes to mind is a show that I've been rewatching recently. That did not come out this year, but the next season will come out on January 1st. Jobless Reincarnation.
Let's go! Let's go!
That's that show. And that's one of the shows where you're talking about ecchi, and they have like a fine line. But I think that show is a great show for a lot of reasons. Concept in itself is super shocking in ways in which I didn't expect it to go. The development of every single one of the characters, literally every single one of them, is pretty great. Ending, shocking. I'm like, where else can they go from here? But there's still so much that we don't know. I really do love that one, and I watched that earlier this year. So I enjoyed that one. I also watched Fruits Basket.
Okay, yes.
Fruits Basket.
Yes,
come on.
And the final and the movie. Fruits Basket is now in my top 5 of all time. But I really do love Fruits Basket. And it was actually my first romance anime that I've ever watched. So I've never watched a romance anime prior to this year. And Fruits Basket really was the one that told me, like, hey, you're missing out. There's so much more other things out there. So I really did enjoy that. Toru is amazing. She's like the greatest little rice ball. She's just the greatest. And the amount of growth that she's able to evoke out of all of the other characters is great. Love it. So that was really cool. Another one that I thought was cool, it may have come out this year or like last year. We don't really talk about it. The world's finest assassin has been reincarnated into an aristocrat.
Shelby got me. I'm ready to jump out my seat right now. Let's fucking go.
Oh yeah, no, it was so good. And I'm an isekai person, so I'm definitely always going to talk about isekai. But I really thought that it was great. I really did think that it was great. A lot of people were kind of like judging it, or at least comparing it to Jobless, and you can, obviously I can see why, but I think that they're going in a direction where I'm just curious to see what they're going to do in season 2. He's really cool too in the inner monologue. It's interesting to see in another show. So those ones
change isekais though, because usually like with isekais, like they're not really able to pick like their abilities. Dog came into the game and was like, yo, I don't
yes.
Yeah, that was different.
Mm-hmm.
That was different.
Very different. And I was like, ooh, this is fine. Yeah.
And the way that he picks his abilities based on like what he knows is just like, okay, well, this will help me out for later on. This is gonna be, to help build up my my magic and things like that. I was just like, yo, he's actually using his logic to build on his abilities. But I'm like, yo, he's gonna be so OP when he gets into the next world. And I was right. This dude is
OP.
Yes. Yeah, and it's purposeful OP. It's not OP by accident. He's really like, no, I got a chance to do this, and this is what's gonna happen. So, World's Finest Assassin is my shit.
I really did enjoy it a lot. What else did I watch this year? I watched. Did Regular Kings come out this year?
Yes.
Yes,
it did. Top
Yes.
5.
That's crazy. It feels like Boji's been around forever. That was a great one. I think I watched it twice before. And I rewatched not that long ago. Boji's my son. What else can you say?
Boji.
Kotaro lives alone.
I was about to say that,
Kotaro?
Kotaro, Anya, and Boji, the 3 kids. The trio.
Yes.
Kotaro, I really learned a lot by watching that show, even with the 10 episodes. I think I cried like multiple times an episode. Just the different scenarios they had to go through. And again, I'm a sucker for somebody who has to learn a lesson and go through some personal development. So the amount of growth that he was able to help the other characters go through, and how the community came in to like help him was great. In comparison to Ranking of Kings, where everybody was just against him, and Boji like was able to still shine brilliantly and make everybody like around and still be on his side. Different, but yeah, I think I watched a whole bunch of anime as I mentioned, but those are some of my favorites.
Hey, you definitely chose some fucking heat for all of the picks that you had this year. So definitely shout out to you for that, because all the shows that you mentioned were absolute gas. So definitely shout out to you in your anime journey. As you said that you've watched over 40. I'm getting close to 40. I've got a couple more to try and get through before the end of the year myself. I wanted to get to 50, but it doesn't look like I'm gonna make that timeline. So I'm gonna stick with
my best to get to 50.
Yeah, I when we did the 100-year anime challenge last year, I got to 50, but I was burnt. I was like, yo, I'm burnt out, bro. And then I hopped right back in.
I'm already getting burnt.
Yeah, it's crazy, but I still hopped right back in when winter season came along. I'm like, oh, can't stop, just watch it at your own pace. So, but yeah, definitely shout out to you and the picks that you chose. With that, I think we've definitely had a nice discussion here about what you plan to do as far as content creation and about anime. We will definitely have some more anime talks this year. If you want to come back, obviously, it is up to you. The doors are definitely open for you to return.
I want to come back. They were fun.
Hey, excellent. That's what we love to hear. So before we dip up out of here, got some rapid fire questions for you, and of course, just answer these to whatever best fits you, and I'll decide whether it's gas or whether I'm just like damn. So we'll go from there. Some random, very very random questions, but it'll come at you. Yeah, definitely. Just try your best. That's all we ask. Nah, you don't gotta worry about math here. All right, got you. So, chicken tenders or chicken nuggets?
Ooh, tenders.
She said tenders.
She said tenders.
The tenders.
Okay. French toast, pancakes, or waffles?
French toast.
Yes, let's go.
It was easy. It's fast.
Yes.
Come on, next one.
I got gunshots right now.
I'll edit them in, or I'll edit one in, or something like that. Okay. When you smoke, mellow music or turn up music? Say that again.
I'm a mellow music type of girl.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. Because look, and the reason I asked that question is because I know some of the young folk that I know who like when they smoke, they smoke to like Young Boy and they smoke to other like trap music. I'm just like, yo, y'all not like.
Sir, no.
Bro, hold on, I don't know. They be smoking to a
I need to
boogie.
be in my own world.
I'm saying
I
like,
need to be in my own world.
in college, like the music
Most
that was.
turn up is like Patronata. I can dance
See?
around some gold links. I can dance around my room.
Hey, now you preaching. Now you preaching. Look, when during like 2009 to 2013, when college was happening and people were partaking in those activities, I'm not saying that I did, but when people around me were, look, when you throw on Wiz Khalifa or Currency, stuck. Like,
bro, preach, bro.
literally, we would just be like, all right, yo, we trying to chill. So folks would turn on the music, and it would just be absolutely stuck. And I just remember those are some of the best nights that I had in college. So that's the main reason I asked that question, because I got to see if you was on the same wavelength or if you was with that new gen that likes to smoke and turn up. But anyway, let's see, what do we got here? SZA or Summer Walker?
Ooh, damn. Probably SZA.
Yes, come on.
Not mad at it at all. Okay. 90s R&B or 2000s R&B?
90s R&B.
Let's go. Okay. Yes, we there. 2000s R&B or 2010 R&B?
Ooh.
This should be hard for me too. I ain't gonna cap.
Yeah, it's hard for me too.
2010 R&B.
I'm not mad at it, because my decision like kind of changes every now and again. So I just thought I'd add that little wrench in there.
Thinking about what I was listening to around the time,
Mm-hmm.
that's why I think maybe 2010 R&B.
Okay, that's what's up. Bryson Tiller or Brent Fayez?
Bryson, when he makes music.
Right,
Very.
I will agree with that.
That's a very interesting pick. Okay.
He needs to do more.
Well,
So I do
that is
prefer
facts.
Bryson.
Okay. Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network?
Cartoon Network.
Cartoon Network or Disney?
Disney.
Okay.
That's
I'm a
interesting.
Disney kid.
Very, yeah, very interesting.
I know. Most people would say Cartoon Network, but I am a Disney kid. I love Disney. I love everything about Disney, except for Walt. I am a Disney.
Well, I think we had that conversation on one of those streams. It was just like, look, Disney is outside of Walt himself. Disney has really
That's
like.
why I removed it from.
Okay, I'm not mad at it. Here's an interesting one: BET with music videos or BET with sitcoms?
Music videos.
There we go. We there. We here. All right. Favorite R&B artist of all time, male or female?
I put Miss Ava in R&B. Right now, he's there.
Shout out to the 757. Favorite hip hop artist of all time, male or female?
Don't have one.
And that's fine. Things happen.
That's genuine. I genuinely don't have
Genuine answer.
And that was funny as shit, man.
Yeah, it's like, hey, look, it is what it is. Some people, they just don't have it.
Everybody's okay.
Yeah, it's no big deal. It's no big deal at all.
Somebody sing a tune.
Hey, that's real. That's real. As long as you didn't say like I don't know. Some people have some strange answers, but I think as long as you didn't say certain people, then we're good. Because I know a lot of people who will say Drake, and I love Drake, but I'm like, if you say Drake is the greatest hip hop artist of all time, I will literally turn this pod off.
I appreciate Degrassi Drake. When Drake stopped singing Irreplaceable Girl, whatever that song was, his first song with Trey Songz. After that era, he started changing up. And I listened to a few albums, they were cool. But current Drake kind of annoys me.
I've got a whole gripe with current Drake, but that's neither here nor there. Was you about to say something, Jay?
No, bro, nothing. Because
Okay.
Drake is not my favorite hip hop artist. Right?
Oh, okay.
For those who do know me, there's a three-headed monster. There's Currency, Wiz Khalifa, Larry June, and then the honorable mention would probably be a three-way tie between Future, Migos, and Uzi.
I'm not mad.
Okay, now I would put Migos up there. Because if I'm going to listen to something, like, I I enjoy listening to Migos music.
Migos has
Do
definitely.
I put hip hop on more than not? Probably not.
I mean, it is what it is. I will say that Migos has definitely entered the conversation, and not just because of the unfortunate passing of Takeoff, but I've definitely have enjoyed Migos as they have trugged along. When they first came out, I was a little kind of like, what is this, huh? But as time went on, I've definitely enjoyed their music. So definitely shout out to them, man. And rest in peace to the last Rocket Takeoff.
Absolutely.
That's my opinion.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Favorite genre of anime?
All right. Yeah. Okay. I guess an adventure. I put them together. People often do.
Okay. I'm with it. Favorite game that you've ever played of all time?
Jesus Christ. Of all time? You started out with the easy ones asking me about chicken tenders. Now you gotta ask me about of all time?
Hey, that's what I'm here for. These questions get a little difficult.
All time.
Mm-hmm.
I had to sit up, huh? Could have said nostalgic game. Alright. All time. You gotta take that out. Alright. All time.
all time. And look, if you can't think of all time, then in most recent memory.
Okay. Because do all time. It'll be a tie between Sonic Adventures 2 and one of the Pokemon. Like, I'm a heavy Pokemon player. I've
Let's
had
go.
every single Pokemon game except White and there was one other one, I forget. But I really do love the Pokemon franchise, the games. I don't watch any of the shows. But I played the games. So Pokemon, and what are my favorite things of all time? Always, revolve around what has had a big impact in my life. So Sonic Adventures 2 game, that has a huge impact on my life.
I'm with you.
But so does the Pokemon franchise. So if I was just to pick one game that I'm like, I love this game, I guess it's that one.
Hey, look, I'm big fan of Sonic Adventure and Adventure 2. Like, those are some of the games of my childhood. Like, I literally used to go to my friend's house and play Sonic Adventure 2 on his Dreamcast all the time. And on top of that, I ended up getting like the Sonic Adventure Director's Cut for GameCube and just played it nonstop. So I'm with you on that. Last question. This might be a little bit biased here, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. I know you're gonna answer this right. At least I hope you answer this right. Favorite zodiac sign?
Taurus.
And there it is. I had to throw that out there. I was like, I'm gonna give you an easy layup.
You had to throw that as the last
Niggas
one.
be like,
Thank you,
bro.
because after that one.
Hey, shout out to
Niggas
Taurus
be-
gang. We in here. But
I love y'all. Though. It's okay. I love y'all.
Love you too, bro.
A nice person, someone who's stable, a loyal sign. That's the one to look at.
she preaching.
Is Taurus an earth sign? What is that?
Yes, it is.
We are, yeah, it's a nice one.
Okay, yeah. So I
What are
think
you, Johnny?
I am a Libra.
A
But
Libra?
I am,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah.
I fuck with Taurus though. So the thing with earth signs, like, because everybody talks about, the grounded, like, I get it, but like the one I don't trust is the Virgo. Like, it depends on what type of Virgo it is. I'd be like, Taurus, they're very grounded for sure. I fuck with Capricorns, they're very grounded. But
Indeed.
that Virgo, I'd be like, I can't really fuck with that one. So I understand. I get it.
Hey, man.
Virgo can be finicky,
I,
depending.
I've got no opinion on the Virgo sign. It's just there. It is what it is.
Hell.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I got no opinion. But okay, guys. This has been a very fun episode, and I'm glad that Shelby got to join us here. So before we sign off,
It's happy to be here.
yes, thank you,
Thanks for
thank
having
you. Yes, we definitely got to do this again. Before we sign off, of course, we always do a rundown. Before we do the rundown, we just got to ask if there are any black business highlights or artists that we want to get out there that we may have not mentioned on this podcast before. So if we have, then cool. But I just wanted to be sure that everybody got a chance to highlight black businesses, or black content creators, or black artists. So Shelby, do you have anybody that you want to highlight?
Off the top of my head.
Hey, it's
And I
quite
know it
alright.
sounds so bad, but I sat and I thought about it. I would want to give a better list. So if you have me on next time and you ask this question, then I promise you all that I will have some people that I want to shout out. But currently, not at the top of my head. Now, if you were to ask me about creators, I have a bunch of people.
Well, yeah, they fall in the same that's the same subject.
So yeah, I will shout out a few creators. Sure. Let me think. This person off in my mind. Let's talk about streamers. Johnny just started his stream. Follow him. He's great. He's on here. Other creators, we have Rome, Mr. Let Us Pray, who is part of the Worst Den podcast. He is also in Anime After Dark. Love him. Shout out to him. Follow him, guys, on Twitter.
Shout out to the gang.
Another streamer, we have Aries Tro. That's his name on Twitter, TikTok, and shout out to him. He's a variety gamer, and if you do tune into his late night streams, you guys might find me either in chat or sometimes playing with him or speaking on the stream itself and giving my commentary. That's the way that I've been getting my foot in the door of streaming without having to do it myself yet. So come join us. We have a lot of fun. Who else can I shout out? Off the top of my head, I don't know. Those are the three that popped up.
Hey, you did good. So if those are the three, that's perfectly fine. Johnny, do you have any new businesses that you want to highlight?
New, yeah, actually. So for those who are in the Gwinnett County area of Georgia, if you know, you know. Shout out to Takeoff again, rest in peace. Shout out to Jimmy's Cupcakes. It is in Gwinnett County, aka Beaufort. It's right next to the Mall of Georgia. Black-owned business. They've been on Food Network before. You actually can get these shipped to you as well. They do gourmet, custom-made cupcakes. They have like the flavor of the day every single day of the week. They're open Monday through Friday. Weekends, if you make an order on the weekend, they will ship it out first thing Monday morning. If you go to the actual stores, though, they have like 4 stores across Atlanta. But this one particularly, they have you can get a cupcake and ice cream combo. So definitely shout out to Jimmy's Cupcakes. They are dope as hell. So that's it.
I have one black business.
Okay, what is up?
Me. I'm a black business.
That's a
That is a fact.
that is a fucking fact.
I'm a black business, and I sell baked goods for those of my friends who like to be high. I sell edibles. I make cookies, cakes, pies, and a whole bunch of interesting things in different batches. So if you guys are interested in any of that, I will be starting a Discord for all of the myriad of things that I do on Simply Janine. But if you do follow me on Twitter at Simply Janine, JeAnnNine, then you can also place an order with Simply Bake. So that is one black business. The second black business that I wanted to highlight that finally came to mind is a business that sells spa and aromatherapy products. Their name is SP Jolie. They are a shop that you can find on Etsy. If you search SPTRES JOLIE, Trey Jolie. It's very beautiful, I think, in French, and they have different spa and aromatherapy products that range from bath bombs and lotions and shower gels and artisan soaps and scrubs and all that good stuff. I definitely think you guys should check it out because they make a whole bunch of amazing products. I agree because I love them and I use them often. So definitely shout them out.
Word. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Shelby. All right, guys. So before we get up out of here, what we do is we call this the rundown. We pretty much give a rundown of all of the podcasts, content creators, artists, and black businesses that have come either on this brand or have indirectly supported this brand in regards to the podcast. So with that, what we are going to do is we are going to have Johnny, of course, is going to give the list of the podcasts that we have to, that that everybody should support, and then of course I'm going to give the remaining list of the content creators, of the artists, and the black businesses that are that have either come on this podcast and again or have supported this podcast in some form or fashion. So Johnny, if you could go ahead and give us the rundown of black podcasts, sir.
Absolutely. Go ahead, y'all. Grab y'all pens and papers, or make sure you hit the record button somewhere else. You're going to have to get these names down. All right.
Yep.
Every single podcast, starting now. First of all, of course, me, the gang, Ked there, Rob there, Wave God, aka Tony, you got Caesar, aka Rob Poneglyph, and we got a special person that we added, but we can't talk about it yet officially. That'll be revealed this week though. Shout out to So Go High. You already know the illest class in Space Cast. You know what I'm saying? Period. Number 2, we got Mike Check Waifu. Shout out to Polo and Teliano for sure. And also subscribe to their Patreon, MikeCheckWaifuWaifu.com. Shout out to Worst Generation Podcast. Of course, shout out to their Patreon also. And Blanime Podcast. Combined together, they form Anime After Dark, which you'll find on every single Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Of course, subscribe to both their Patreons. Truth and Transparency Podcast with Brother X, the Culture Scientist, and Mr. Smith. Shout out to the other part of the gang. Myself, Ked, Rob, Nisha, Hydro, a whole bunch of us, Steve. The gang keeps going and going and going. It keeps more and more names. But inside the Mind of a Blurred, definitely check us out. We have The Session with Jay and Trey. We have Brutal Honesty with Kay Renee. Check out her novellas under the pen name Sedona Rose, available on Amazon Kindle. We got It's So Real with Raquel and Onaje. The Alter Art Podcast with Moody Senpai. And also, Phi and Simone and Soul. We got Dad Needs to Talk Podcast with Rob, the father of Vash. Analytical, where she get critical. Shout out to the gang over there. We also got Huey TC Podcast. Shout out to Geek Set Podcast. Young Deuces, my twin on Twitter. Unfortunately, because of our background, shout out to Anime After Dark for that. That was some bullshit still to this day. And last but not least, I see you, Ken, you laugh because you know what the fuck I'm talking about. And last but not least, of course, you can find all of us in this one particular place. Shout out to Ash way over on the other side of the pond. Black Anime Podcast Network. So blackanimepodcast.com. The only place you can catch every single podcast that we name, plus a million more that we can possibly name as well. But if whatever you're looking for, you're going to find it on that website. So once again, blackanimepodcast.com. We're over 200 plus different black creators on podcasts, like about anime, manga, gaming, whatever. You're going to find it on those particular sites. So blackanimepodcast.com.
All right, thank you for that, sir. To our black content creators, first and foremost, shout out to Black Anime with Aaron, HBCU Anime with my boy Evan. Shout out to the Noops, you already know what it is. Sundari. Shout out to our girl Erica. She actually just moved to Philly, so definitely shout out to her and her move. Also shout out to Sushi and Wasabi, her cats. Hope they are not giving her too much hell. Cerberus Entertainment, we already know. Definitely shout out to the gang over there. Jay is also a part of that, so definitely shout out to him. What else? We got Tatted Poodle. You already know. Shout out to the indie. He's already doing big things out here. Not only streaming, but just being rich and famous. Hopefully we'll get to that level.
And fame. Very cool. Shout out to Logitech, yo. She had that Logitech deal too.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Kiana, aka the Geechee Gamer, definitely shout out to her. She will be on this podcast one of these days as well. We definitely got to talk about her streaming journey. Icarus Metro Comics, shout out to my boy Calvin, and shout out to all the Hamptonians everywhere. Studio Maho, Pat and Yin. We already know that y'all doing big things. I think Chapter 4 of God Punch is getting ready to drop soon, as well as Chapter 2 of Blade Titans, as well as some more other content coming from Studio Maho. Shout out to our brother Soul, aka Humble Soul, the Soul Brother, who's always being a digital content creator everywhere. Shout out to Hub Taku, keep your head in the clouds. I didn't realize that I was actually part of the network, like Chaotic Culture was part of the network, because all the emails went to they went to spam for some strange reason. And then I pulled up the emails. I'm like, yo, where did these come from? So definitely shout out to the gang. I gotta
up on that opportunity they just put up too. Man.
Yeah, definitely will. And one more name that we are adding to the list of content creators, Miss Shelby, aka Simply Janine, and Roads Less Traveled. So please be sure that you go ahead and follow her. Yes, ma'am. To our black artists, of course, definitely shout out to Nasa. She's getting ready to drop some music. Our boy Scoozy, Jack Union, who's been producing a lot of the beats around here in the 7.5, so definitely shout out to him. Phil.me, Ellis Quinn of the Bakery Boys, definitely shout out to him and the Bakery Boys, and shout out to Drum. RJ Stackhouse, my boy Quarter. Definitely shout out to Tyrone Leak Jr., who provided the rap for our theme song, and for Quarter, who actually produced and provided the second rap to the end of the outro of the podcast. Shout out to our girl Ari Lachelle. Shout out to our boy Zach Hines. And then shout out to Ms. Zainab, who has been making some pretty dope Afro beats / Jesus music. So definitely shout out to our friend Zainab. And then, of course, shout out to Miss Elena, who we've had here a few weeks ago. Again, if you have not checked out her EP, For All We Know, please be sure that you go and check that out. And then to our black businesses, shout out to Already Paid by Dre, Fresh Nerds Righteous Minds by Timo, KSS Brand by Christina, and happy birthday, Christina. Shout out to Cream Cosmetics by Naima, Mind Over Money by Miss Tremaine, Studio Maho once again by Pat and Yin, Miss Daphne Benford Smith with Studio Maho and Creedon PLLC, and definitely happy birthday to Daphne as well. Concept Moon by my boy Strange Keith and a whole lot of other artists that are under Strange Keith. Definitely shout out to Steve over there and Yase, who are under Concept Moon now. She Designs Too by my girl Erin. Black Magic / Lit Wands by my girls Lo and T. H4 Creative by my girl Zenobia. Real Estate Stone by my girl Meredith. Sold by Bell by Mariah. And Coasters Bar and Grill, that is located here at Buckrow Beach in Hampton, Virginia. With that, before we go, Shelby, please tell the people how they can follow you.
Yes. You can follow me on Simply Janine. I think I spelled it out because my Janine has a little bit of unique spelling. So Simply JeAnnine on Twitter, and I think on Twitch as well. On Instagram, you can also follow me. I also post content on there, whether it be in my stories mostly, and some on my feed. I do hope to cosplay from time to time, so you can catch me over on Instagram at simply.Janine, same spelling. And I'm also on TikTok. So I think the names are the same all across the board. If you are interested in any travel content or learning about different languages, how you can experience different cultures no matter where you are, or how to travel on a budget, you can follow me on Roads Less Traveled, traveled with 1 L, 2 underscores. So it's ROADS and TRAVELED with 2 underscores. And everywhere.
Thank you for that, Shelby. We will also put that in the description for the episode, so please be sure that you read the description as well.
It's so confusing.
we got you, Shells. We got you. All right. If there are if there are no more announcements or any Black business highlights, let's go ahead and sign off. Be sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the Chaotic Culture Podcast on your favorite DSP. Be sure that you subscribe to the Patreon for early access to the podcast and bonus episodes of the podcast. You can subscribe at any of the 4 levels listed. Once again, we appreciate your support. It does not matter which level you decided to donate to. We definitely appreciate your patron. You can follow our Chaotic Culture Podcast page on Facebook at Chaotic Culture Podcast. You can also follow us on IG at Chaotic Culture Pod and follow us on Twitter at Chaotic_Culture. You can follow me, Ked the Pro, that's K3D the Pro on all social media. You can follow Miss Nasa on all social media at _call me Nasa. Law is taking a social media break, so he'll decide to give those out whenever he decides he gets back on there. You can follow Miss Sappy on all social media at Scraps14, and you can follow Jay on all social media, including TikTok, at JLeeTrey. This has been another edition of the Chaotic Culture Podcast. Until next time, folks, remember, embrace the culture. Chaos rules. Be blessed. Be safe. God is love. Deuces.
Look, it's chaos in these streets, so let's talk about it, please. Let's hold some conversation. You see where I'm coming from. Yes, it's so amazing. Go ahead, get comfortable. You can grab a seat, take a load off your feet. Yeah, welcome to the table. We don't tell no lies over here. This ain't no fable. We just live our lives over here. We ain't no angels. We just shine our light over here. We got the power. We just showing love over here. Cause everybody needs some, yeah. And we don't need a reason. Everybody needs some. And we don't need a reason, cause